So, as I was a young kid growing up, I think, maybe 10 or 11, dance, I found out dance was something that I was really good at and something that I was passionate about. And so, even throughout the years, man, I would just break dance and popping and locking and trying to just learn all the cool latest dances. And by the time I got into high school, I was pretty well known for dancing, and there was an audition thing on the radio. I was living in Chicago at the time. And so I went down for the audition, and I got it. I won the opportunity to dance and do choreography for Aaliyah and R. Kelly. So that was like amazing to still be in high school. Kind of messed me up a little bit my senior year because I stopped focusing on my schoolwork and was, preparing to tour the world. So after a couple months, that thing kind of went away, and there was a guy whose name was Dirk Brown, who he was a Christian. He was a counselor at another school, but he would hang out with my crew all the time. And one day, he was like, man, I got this hip-hop group. I know you dance and all that. I want you to come out and do some choreography for them. So I ended up moving out to, well, I didn't move. I traveled to Nashville, but I ended up moving on later on. So I traveled to Nashville, worked with a group called Grits. It was a hip-hop group, and as I spent my time with them, I started to see they were a little bit different than the average hip-hop group, and their focus was a little bit different. They loved the same kind of music, but their hearts and the way they lived was different. And so, of course, growing up, not necessarily in church, my mom would drop me off with my grandparents because she knew that they would take me to church. So I had a little bit, but I never really embraced it as my own because I felt like it was a bunch of, like older people who, it's like something you do when you get old. But as I spent more time with Grits, one day one of the guys named Note of Herbs pulled me aside and asked me about Jesus, man, what I thought about Jesus, and started sharing the gospel with me. And I think it was probably 10 o'clock at night, and it felt like the Lord was just giving him things about my life and things that just really spoke to my heart when it was concerning faith and where I was going and what the plans that he had for me. And it just broke me down right then and there in that place, man. And that night, I decided to give my life over to Christ and serve him. And it just changed me forever because, I started, like I said, doing choreography and stuff in the secular world and just seeing that God could still use me and he had a bigger purpose and plan for my life, even outside of choreography. Now it's this amazing hindsight. But so I went from there. And of course, Grits was a group that was signed to Toby Mac. Mm-hmm. So Toby Mac, kind of saw the work that I was doing. I started working with other people on his label. Eventually I moved to Nashville to get a good foundation in my faith. And ever since then, man, gigs just kept coming. It wasn't like I was chasing after it. It's like, the Lord was opening doors, and the Bible says, it makes room for your gifts, and so I dedicated my gift to Christ, man, and he's been blessing.
Yeah, I got something to share with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know too much about your music all like that. Mm-hmm. I actually just started listening to it maybe a few weeks ago. This guy from my church, I go to this church, it's called Rockville Mennonite Church. Well, this Mennonite dude, he was like, oh, I got something for you to listen to. So I put on this rap and he put on your song. His name's Peter Stolfus. He wanted to come here tonight, but he's going to be school teaching and teach the gospel and stuff like that. So, I thought it was pretty interesting how here in Mennonite, that's more plainer heard about you, and I didn't. And I listened for all the different Christian rappers, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting too that you even said that, because I wouldn't even have thought of that.
Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you, but I guess the best thing I would ask you, if there was somebody out there that didn't know Jesus, what would you tell them?
Man, I would tell them that there was someone who cared about them more than they could imagine, and that they had plans for your life, to see you succeed and be all you can be in your life, and that, circumstances may look how they look, but, if you can really give a clear stab at seeing what this Christ is about, I would encourage you to do that, man. And people are chasing different goals and dreams and things like that, and to turn over your own will to someone else is something that's hard to do, but I promise you, You give your life and your gifts and talents to God, and He will blow your mind in more ways than you ever can imagine. And it's not about just getting things, but just bless you in peace, in joy, you know, in understanding what the purpose is for your life. That's what I would share with them, man. And ultimately, man, it's love, man. Unconditional love, you know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what me and most Christians, you know, the goal is to love. And I think when they will know you by your love, the Bible says they'll know you by your love and not by how much Bible knowledge you know and, you know, all the rules that you're, you know what I mean? You follow things, you know, I follow Christ because I love Him. I try to keep His commandments because I love Him, not because it's going to make me better with Him. You know what I mean? And so the key thing, man, for this whole thing is love. And so I think when once people start understanding that and get that real point across, they'll be blessed.
And one more question. What would be your favorite Bible verse?
I got a couple, man, that I've been using, man. And depending on what the circumstance is, man, I'm really passionate when I'm doing my music and stuff like that. So when I'm in front of crowds, man, I really like to encourage people to find what their gift and talent is in this body. Because when I say body, I mean all the members, people who are Christians. We call it a body. It's really just everybody in the church fits together as one, like a body. They all have a special gift and talent, you know. And so 1 Corinthians 12:12, you know, says, for just as the body is one, you know, and has many members, but one body. So we all are joined together in unity through Jesus Christ. But master your gift, master what God has called you to do, and it makes the body even that much more powerful. You know, the Bible says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, and He is in the midst. And so there's nothing more powerful than men and women joining together, using their gifts and talents to lift up the name of Christ. And so there's all kind of stuff that people do. I sing and rap and stuff like that, but, you know, we need Christian reporters. We need people who design, you know, staging, who work sound. They all work together as one body, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, that's probably one of my favorite verses, because it just points out that everybody has something special. Nobody's higher or lower than anybody else. We all need each other to be effective.
All right, thank you for doing an interview with Menn-O-Light-Radio.
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
Yeah.